Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Tuesday leadership tip. Some of these leadership tips I like to, keep current with what's going on in the world, and this is one of them because, this past week, with everything going on in the news surrounding the murder of Charlie Kirk and what's going on in social media, I mean, the stress, the anxiety, the arguments between friends. I don't know if I've ever seen things more toxic on Facebook and some of the other sites out there. And I thought of all of you because you're the ones who are responsible for keeping your employees motivated and keeping them engaged. And let's face it, the jobs themselves are stressful enough. The last thing you need is having to deal with what people are carrying in from home and their social circles and outside of work. It's a lot. And in fact, the studies are showing it's getting worse. Currently, over 36% of young adults report having some form of mental illness. So you're talking things like depression, severe anxiety, eating disorders, post-traumatic stress syndrome, ADHD, and social media. They've done study after study to show it is impacting things in a negative way. One recent study was talking about how just going off social media for 14 days would clear up so much of your mind, your health, your mental health. And people are on it for hours and hours a day. So when I thought about this and I thought about you and what you're dealing with, I wanted to try and provide some help and provide some best practices. And a couple of stories came to mind. I had years ago, I had this a service manager, and he was seeing his service advisors just getting really stressed out. And you think about that job and the intense pressure they're under at times and dealing with the general public. And sometimes, customers take it out on them and they had nothing to do with what was going on. And so this service manager noticed that his employees were just burnt out, they were anxious, and he wanted to do something. So he got creative. He called them in for a meeting early one morning, and when they got there, in the parking lot was a old printer copier fax machine that he had dug up and a bat. And he allowed each of them to take turns just swinging the bat and beating the heck out of this copier machine until it was in pieces. And so they were laughing, they were joking, they were thinking of a customer interaction that was frustrating them or anything going on in their life and just taking a swing. And he was talking about how it really energized the team, not just for that day, but the whole week. And then another time, again, a service manager with a different dealership where he surprised each of the advisors where on Monday morning they came in and he went to Costco or one of those warehouses and bought like a huge jug of candy and put it underneath the desk for each of them and surprised them and said, hey, look, whenever you're getting stressed, just go in, grab it, share it with your customers, enjoy, have fun. I appreciate you. And he was talking about how much fun they were having all week, and they were doing just that. They were going in, they were getting it when they were getting stressed, and they were handing it to their customers, and their customers were smiling and laughing. And of course, that just spread that energy around to the whole department. And the other thing for you as managers is it spreads back to you as well. So these are just two examples. In the email, I just chat GPT'd it. I said, give me some suggestions, and I picked out some of my favorites. Of course, you can pick out some of your own favorites if you do the same thing. But the key point is, as Dr. Henry Cloud said, as the leader, you control the emotional climate of your department. And you have a lot of power in that. And so think of some ways, this is my challenge to you, think of some ways to surprise and delight your team. It doesn't need to cost much. It might be just a thoughtful gesture or a simple moment of fun. But whatever it is, you got that power to flip the switch. And here's the fun part. When you do it, it not only will have your employees smiling, but I guarantee it's going to have you smiling as well. So good luck. I hope you take on my challenge and you can provide me some stories on how it went. Take care.